Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I'm here this morning for Neon Genesis Evangelion episode 5. Last time on EVA was an internal struggle for Shinji. He ran away, and it all comes down to the hedgehog's dilemma. He and Misato are the hedgehogs, and they can't get close enough to each other without hurting each other. He feels that way about everyone, that getting too close to them will hurt them. So he runs away. And then he meets what's his face? I don't remember his name. The gun otaku guy. The war otaku who wishes he was a soldier. That guy speaks candidly with him. Treats him like a person. It's an interesting conversation they have. And then Nerve comes for him, brings him back, and we see his interactions with Misato. And they're cut, they're framed amazingly, separated. Everything that she has to do to him as his commander causes him pain. Hedgehog spikes. And that causes her pain. So she almost wishes, that he would just leave. Just give up. Just stop. Even if it means the death of humanity. And he quits. He runs away for real. And as he's going to leave the town, the two classmates, Toji and Gun Otaku Boy, come and talk to him. And Toji tells him he wants him to hit him back. I caused you pain, now you cause me pain. And they are willing, they're not trying to get him to stay. They're willing to accept his need to run away after seeing what he goes through in the EVA. They're willing to let him go. And they say something about, if you leave, we'll have to evacuate too. But it's more than that. He's the only one who can pilot that EVA. If he doesn't fight, then Japan and the world is fucked. But they accept that. And something about that changes his mind. And he stays on the train platform. And she comes and finds him. I'm back. Welcome home. It's a really beautiful episode. I'm pretty darn sure, I'm fairly certain, that it was the last episode that I saw the first time that I, long time ago, tried to watch EVA. And it just lost me. I think I was just wanting and expecting, yeah, badass mech fights, let's go! Where are the badass mech fights? What's this stupid slow stuff? In any case, now we're on episode 5. I don't know what to expect. But I would sort of expect another angel attack. Just because of how slow the last episode was, and how much of it was dedicated to Shinji's running away and then returning. Now what does he return to? Well, to fight. So there needs to be a fight. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll be totally different. doesn't matter. It's gonna be amazing because Hideaki Anno, Hideaki bro. Anyway, let's get into it. It'll be timer based. Oh, before that, as always, the next episode will be up on Patreon, patreon.com/Teeaboo, the day that this airs. Either it'll already be up by the time you're watching this, or it'll be up within a couple of hours. Also, if you enjoy this content, you enjoy my EVA reactions or my other stuff, likes, subs, love you. Bell ringing. Some of my subs have not been getting their content when I put it out. The bell is the way to fix that. YouTube does that thing that it does. Sorry. Anyway, Evangelion episode 5. There will be a beep beep timer. It'll go boop 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 beep, and then on the beep and the green light is exactly the frame that VLC begins playing. So if you're syncing up with your own copy, which I recommend doing, that's when you want to hit the button. Let's get into it. Timer goes here. The audio track that I'm listening to is 5.1 surround. So like the tap drums are like in the back, and yeah, it's so cool. All right. So we're going. Ah, this is Ray's Ava, right? Let's see. Does this work better here? Yeah, kind of. Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh. So is this in the past? How much damage can it do in 35 seconds? Oh, it's punching at him. So that's how she got injured? Oh, so they're filling. They call it special bakelite, so it's plastic resin. Whoa. That's interesting. He's willing to injure himself. He wouldn't do that for Shinji, I don't think. His glass is cracked. That's a hell of a shot. Hell of a transition. Christian symbolism. Contamination, maybe? Hmm. Hmm. Still DNA. Why were his hands discolored? These transitions are intentionally jarring. First the sparks and the jump into the pool. 'Cause she's like you, but not like you. Hey, you've only seen her when she was messed up, and when she told you that there was a call for you. It's Balthazar. Huh. She's smiling. Yeah, shock. He's smiling at her too. You see this whole thing from his perspective with only his audio. Yep. Haha! She already drunk. Yep. N squared. And a beer. Oh! Pet is kill. This is home now, though. Forces him to talk to her. Eh. Eh. Socially? Hmm. Hmm. Oh, the setup for the place she lives. Grungy. Ping pong, ping pong! Ah, unmaintained. Not very adept at living. He's gonna walk in on her naked. And she's not going to care. Threshold. Whoa. Blood on the sheets. Chair. A dresser. As sparse as it can be. In stark contrast to his room. Ah. She really cares about father. No, they're your father's. She's there. Yep. Shower? Oh. Yep. She cares about the glasses. Oh, one of these. Yep. Well. Yeah. She doesn't care. How long has she spent being poked and prodded and examined and whatever for nerve? Years? Page 1. Zero self-confidence. And she's gone. Huh. Sitting so far from each other. Aren't you afraid? Yeah. Does not compute. Huh. How could you not trust him? He's more a father to her. Is an angel? It's a big fucking diamond thing. Some kind of new adaptation? Oh shit. Oh shit. No, 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 no. No. Back. Back, back. Okay. So, we got to see Unit 00's failed activation experiment, and this entire episode was centered around and focused on Rei. Which makes sense, given the title of the episode is Rei Beyond the Heart and Rei 1. They used a cool plastic resin thing to lock the Eva down. But the most interesting part, and it's sort of the thing that binds this whole episode, is Papa Ikari's actions when Rei's Eva goes nuts. And I'm glad that I caught it right away from the first scene. I wrote down he's willing to injure himself to save Rei. And then I wrote down, would he do the same for Shinji? And I think the answer is no. I think the answer appears to be no. Rei is more important to him. There's some connection between them. She is more a daughter to him, and she sees him as more of a father than his real son. His relationship with Rei is obviously much better than his relationship with Shinji, and I wonder why. It might have something to do with what Miss Doctor whatever says about Rei being like Papa Ikari, in that she's not good at living, not adept at living. which has a lot of meanings that it could have, and it's kind of hard to know without know whether it's a translation thing or what that line really means, because it's translated as she's not very adept at living. I want to find that. I want to hear it, listen to the Japanese and try and figure out what was said. Wait, yeah. There's this scene which we will definitely talk about. Okay, where are my subs? Translated as live and exist. Let me swap these.
Live. Ikiru.
Live, but also exist. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so would he do that for Shinji? I think no. We find out some interesting things about the angels. They are 99.89% in terms of their composition, though they're made of a totally different kind of matter, a type of matter that's akin to light. They're 99.89% human in terms of their composition, their structure, their code, which is interesting. Makes me wonder if the angels are brought here or caused by the more recent impact than were humans of the same type, in some way, and brought here by the first impact or a previous impact before that we don't even know of. Maybe. Shinji notices that his hands are discolored, that his father's hands are discolored. And it's explained to him that his father risked himself to save Rei, and Shinji's surprised by this. which sort of helps confirm my initial intuition that this is out of character for the Papa Ikari that Shinji knows. He sees him as a person who doesn't help anyone but himself, and wouldn't put himself in danger to save someone. But Rei is critical to the operation. The way that Papa Ikari's mind works, and I've talked about this in a previous reaction, is like anything that is a necessary tool for the survival of humanity comes up before and above anything personal. So Rei is a necessary tool. Shinji has not yet proved himself to be a necessary tool. So he wouldn't take that action to save Shinji, but he would take it to save Rei, because without her, there's no hope. Why though? Why is she so special? We get some stuff with Shinji and Toji at the school with the girls in bathing suits, and his wondering at why she's alone, why she distances herself from everyone. And they assume that it's because she's dislikable. That's not the case. She distances herself. And it's similar to the way that he distances himself. Their conversation is very similar to the conversation that was between the two of them before they had actually met Shinji. Assumptions. The doctor tells him when they're hanging out eating, tells him that he should move out. But this is his home now. This is where he belongs. And the whole scene with them around the table eating dinner is brightly lit and quite pretty. It's warm, is what it is. We've got the red of the carpet. It's in soft colors. The backgrounds are sort of pastel-y, and everything is warm. It's well lit, and there's nothing bright and nothing gray in this entire scene. It's all warm yellows and greens and golds and reds. It's all warm tones here. And then and she says that, you should move out, live on your own. But this is home. We're sitting in a comfortable home for Shinji right now. And then he goes off to give Rei's card to her. And it's cold. Tone is cold. Blues, grays, sharp, blown out whites. Gray, 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 gray. There's no... even that pink that's at the top, that's the pink of bad stuff. Previously, when we've seen that sort of hot pink magenta color, it's been when Shinji has been freaking out. We saw some of that last episode. Everything is gray. Everything is sharp and not good. Inside is green and gray and dark. And there's trash everywhere and mail piled up. And then in her room, across that real threshold, it is dark. There's just a shaft of light coming through, but it's washed out, low saturation, gray. And then the only real color in the room, besides the light bluish purple of her bed sheets, is the red blood. It's disturbing. And then we see pills, cans, and blood. Bloody bandages. Gray, 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 gray. This is where she lives. And then the glasses. And the glasses serve as a symbol of Papa Ikari's care for Rei and his actions to save her. They're symbolic, and they're really important to her. Yeah, really important to her. So I picked up on this. He's coming in, he's gonna see her nude. It's a trope. Classic. But he's there for other reasons. Now, his putting on the glasses is really interesting. Like, part of it is just set up so that she can remove them. But why does he put them on? If he thinks, as he says he does, that they're Ray's glasses, why put them on? Partly so that we can have this shot of seeing her in the nude, with the cracks over it, and him freaking out. Interesting that we are focused on his left eye and then his right eye. We see through the right eye because that's the one that's more shattered. And then when we come back to him, we're focused entirely on the right eye. In fact, is that a match cut? From here? Yeah, it is. It's matched exactly to there. No, it's not actually. It's zoomed in a little bit more. About an inch above the eyebrow. Yeah, it's zoomed in more. I didn't mean blah blah blah. And now the light coming through is no longer blue. That's interesting. Blue light shining down and directly on him, which is kind of gorgeous. The framing of every shot is, of course, perfect because Hideaki. And then the light coming through is pink. It's that bad magenta color. But the light on the wall... Oh, that's interesting. So the light on the wall is, or coming through the window, is the blue. And that's where Shinji's standing. From, if you draw a direct line from her perspective to him, it's there. So that light is still above his head. And then she walks the line of this pink light, comes at him, and this scene with her reaching for the glasses, maybe another reference to the angel reach and the Misato reach. She grabs the glasses, and then, yeah, he freaks out because there's a naked girl close to him. He just flips. And she's just trying to protect the glasses. Pulls her underwear drawer out, and which is hilarious and great that all of her stuff goes flying. It's also all identical white underwear, which is sort of a character thing. Girls who care about such things have colored underwear, right? Blues and pinks and reds, right? All of hers is white. It's all probably identical Hanes or whatever the cheapest stuff is. She doesn't care about that. And then there's this, and we want to hear the audio for this portion, because it's... Yeah. So that clatter causes the water on the fridge to ripple. And the light is moving as well, which is interesting. Like, there's no reason for that light to be moving that fast, because we assume that's the light coming in through the window. There's no reason for it to be moving that quickly, unless it's trying to show us just how much time is passing while he's on top of her. But I don't think so, because it's not moving here. It's just refracting off of the beaker and creating that rainbow, which frames them, which is amazing. I just noticed that. Yeah, it's creating that prism rainbow over the wall and ceiling. That's really cool. And we start on the glasses and move over to their position. And then she says, could you maybe get off me? Thanks. And then they're in line. I mean, the framing and composition is amazing. They're in line with the pink light. Now there are two rays of blue light behind him. He's no longer aligned with it. Always there's pink light when she is the main focus of the shot. Always there's blue light when he is the main focus of the shot. But she's dispassionate. She's disinterested. Whether she registers why he's freaking out or not doesn't really matter. It's possible that she just doesn't register it, but it's more likely that she's aware of it and does not care. He follows her kind of creepily because they're going to the same place. You know, they're both going to Nerve HQ, but he sits far away from her on the train. And when she tries to swipe in and cannot, he hands her the card, and she grabs it with a little bit of anger. Just a little bit of haste. And then they're on the elevator. Aren't you afraid? Does not compute. Why? Why would I be afraid? This is what she's for. This is what she's there for. How long has she been doing this? I don't know. Don't you have faith in your own father's work? How could I trust him? Right? They have totally different perspectives on Shinji. How could I possibly trust him? And her feeling is, how could you not? He's my savior. And she slaps him. There's just no ability for them to find common ground on this, on the topic of Papa Ikari, because they see him so differently. She brings the glasses with her and has the glasses with her in the Eva, like a kind of totem. A symbol of Papa Ikari's care for her and something that makes her feel safe. And then when the angel arrives, although we've seen Rei in the Eva, activated already, and could use her to fight the angel right now, Papa Ikari protects her. She's not ready to fight yet. Have her power down. Send Shinji. He's disposable. She's important. And then we see the big fucking diamond thing, and it's got some kind of new laser blasty thing, some sort of new adaptation, and Shinji eats a laser blast straight to the chest and then cliffhanged. It's a good show. It's a good show. This episode was good. Is this part of a two-part? I think this is part of a two-part. Because it's called Rei 1. Let me see real quick. Yup. Decisive Battle in Tokyo 3 and Rei 2 is the title of the next one. Well, friendorinos, you're in for a special treat. I'm gonna watch them both. I'm gonna watch them both, and I'm gonna release them both at the same time. So, this week will be a special two-part Eva. If you're a patron, you get them both. If you're not a patron, you get them both just a week later. Yeah. I really felt cliffhanged there, and I really felt like this was half of an episode. Of course, a full episode length, but and with a full episode of content, no doubt, but half of an episode. So, you know what? Just because I don't want to have to resync everything and do them, do them separately and all that jazz, I'm just gonna keep recording, and I'll just release this as a two-part episode 5, episode 6. Ba-bam! Special feature. I probably shouldn't do this because I've got a bunch of other stuff that I want to do today. I want to get started on Ginga Eiyuu Densetsu Season 2 because I've left it and let it languish for too long now after the finale, just because the finale hit me so hard. But I want to get that underway, and I also want to, for y'all patrons, I'm going to record the first episode of both of the top two TeeHee Tuesday. Excuse me. Top two TeeHee Tuesday shows from the poll. I'm gonna record both. So first episode of Psyche K and the first episode of what's his face Deska Sakamoto Deska, and I will release them both, and then there will be a poll for patrons on that topic to figure out what TeeHee Tuesday will be. Yeah. Anyway, wait. Oh shit! I've got a new patron. What's up? Patreon.com/Teeaboo. Yeah, boy. Let me hit this guy with a boom. Bam. Should see him pop up in the Discord pretty soon. All right. Let us get into Evangelion, episode 6. I'll redo the timer. So, stretch. Stretch. Spent like an hour raking my yard this morning before it gets too warm. Before it gets too warm outside. So I'm a little. All right. Evangelion, episode 6. Beep beep timer. Go boop 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 beep. Timer goes here. So will they have to send Ray? Hmm. So calling back to Ray's forcible removal. How will Papa Ikari react? What's that? I'll bet he'll react by just mission focus only. What the fuck is that drill thing? Huh. Just to keep it. Just trying to keep it occupied. Oh, and get information on the. So, what do you do? This perspective is awesome. Ah. $20. Wow. So why don't you use Ray? Wow. Hmm. Huh. It's quite a high percentage. 8.7%. It's better than 0.0000000001. Match cut to elevator? Approximately 6:30. By borrow, she means acquisition. right? Commandeer. We appreciate your cooperation. Ha ha ha. You don't have a choice. She's a great strategist. Power lines. Oh. We're really seeing her in her element for the first time. Yeah, how's his mental state? This shot again. Threshold. Oh. Ray comes to visit. Just to brief him. New suit. My pee-pee is showing. She doesn't care. Yep. Square egg. Shut the fuck up. Eat some food. Yes. What are you talking about? Yeah. She's about a billion times braver than you are. EVA 2. Does his dad work for... Change their tune. They're both there. So we don't get to see Shinji change his mind. We just get to see the Eva is there and it's being moved. Wow. It's a big gun. Could explode. Huh. This tension with all this lighting. So you only get one shot, really. You're fucked. Yeah, just do it. Yes. Yes. Because I'm protecting you. Pen pen. Wow. All your energy. Charge up that spirit bomb gun. Ooh. Yes. It was a strange time to say goodbye. Oh my god. So many Transformers. Wow. Ho ho ho. Chick. Chick. Oh my god. Don't fuck up. No way. No, it bent. It bent. It bent the light. The shield. Oh my god, it's melting. 17 seconds, right? Nice. Got it? Got it? Did it get it? Got it. Holy shit. Slagged. Is she okay? Ah! Ah! Transition into ED. No preview. That was dope. I'm really glad that I watched these two together. Sort of fulfill this Ray arc here. Super good. We got some notes to go through. So they figure out this thing's way of working, and we get to see we get to see Misato in her element, doing her commanding thing. We haven't really seen that before. We've just seen her interactions with Shinji. But now we see her as a commander, as a strategist, coming up with these ideas and implementing them and making shit happen, and she's good at it. So we get to see a picture of a competent person in their element, which is great. It's well done too. And almost all the shots of her in this episode are like her face, center screen, sort of smiling, you know, like that. You know, sort of an off-center smile on her face, like, we're gonna do it. We got this. Let's go. We're gonna do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get to it. You know, like that. Yeah. I wanted to see this cut because we go from here, and he's still talking, right? He's still talking, and they're still in the same room. And then it zooms out, and it's a totally different scene. How amazing is that? That's genuinely gorgeous. So her face completely fills the screen, and her hair completely covers the edges. So there's no indication that this is a cut. We just get the add-in of the elevator moving in the background. That's glorious. It's goddamn glorious. So they borrow a giant laser particle beam thing. Doesn't matter what it is. It's a big gun that can shoot the angel, because it can. And then they also borrow all energy from all of Japan. Which is awesome. We come back to the hospital, and the first shot of the hospital is the same shot as, I believe it's episode 2, Unfamiliar Ceilings. Yada, 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 yada. Yeah, so there, and here we go. This. I believe that's the same exact shot. Maybe the light is different, but same framing, same everything. It is different because the light, I believe the windows were on the right side instead of the left. Also, this shot is very, very similar to the shot where Kitsuragi and Shinji are positioned with the light cutting across them. The use of light in this show is amazing. We get a threshold, and it's Rei. And she's there, she brings him food, but she's dispassionate. She's just giving him orders. Let's see. He freaks out. Oh no, my Beepus is showing, and she doesn't give a shit. Do I have to? Yes, you do. And then he's like, I don't wanna. Well, then stay in bed, bitch. I'll do it. And of course he won't. What drives him is almost more guilt and shame than any kind of duty or desire to actually do this or actually help people. It's more guilt and shame that this girl could be so much braver and so much stronger than he is. Then we get Toji and Gun Otaku Boy. I don't know his name. I need his name. who has hacked his dad's files. So his dad is nerve related. I didn't know that. Kind of interesting. Maybe his dad is the character that we see. No, then he would know more probably. I don't know. But his dad seems to be nerve related or military related, and now they're cheering the Evas on. That transition, that change from the way they were talking about and looking at the Evas before, now they're the hero, and that's pretty cool. They both came. They're using Unit 01 as the gunner for precision, and in a different show, Ray would say something like, "But I'm the better one. I should be doing it." But of course, no. She is all about following the mission. But I've never practiced, says Shinji. Doesn't matter. You have to do it. And then we get an amazing line from Ray. You won't die. I'm protecting you. Which heavily implies that she could. That she will sacrifice herself to protect him. Because he is the gunner for this mission. He's the point man for this mission. Pretty interesting. We see the lights in all of Japan go out, and I was thinking of DBZ Spirit Bomb for that. All of Japan's hopes and light is riding on this one shot. And then we get this sort of moment of slowness to build the tension, which is beautiful directing. And they're both sitting there, and there's a gap between them on the stand before they get into the Evas. There's a gap between them, a wide gap, a divide between them. Let's go find it. Also, this whole briefing scene is so crazy with the light. It's all washed out and blue and bright. They're in spotlights. But yeah, they change, and then yeah. The lights go out, and then we transition up to the stars, which is a nice match. And here, this gap between them, sitting on opposite sides of it, mountains in front of them. Why do you pilot this thing? Because I'm bound. And we know that there's her answer. Well, he asks, a bond with my father. She responds, a bond with all people. But we know that there's something else too. It's a bond with whoever's spirit is in that Eva. Because we know that that's a thing. But we shouldn't know. I shouldn't know that going into this, but I do. So there's an additional layer of meaning to that statement, that she's bound. I have nothing else. And then she says goodbye, and it's a goodbye with finality. Like, I'm going to die. And then he misses. And I want to see that, because that is a scene that I have seen wallpapers of, and I didn't know what it was, but when the shot is fired, and these two like dragons of light spiral around each other in a double helix, and it blasts past him over his head. They're both powerful enough that they warp the space around each other and offset each other's trajectories, so they both miss, which is awesome. And then he fires again, and success. But Rei comes very close to sacrificing herself in order to save him. And here we go. It's an exact shot. This shot is the exact shot of his father doing the exact same thing to save Rei. So he does the same thing. And this is the first time that he, without orders really, has put himself in danger solely to help someone else of his own volition because he wants to, because he cares. And that's good. That's an interesting piece of growth. And it's also interesting to see that the first time that he does something like that is to take the same action that his father takes for the same reason. Actually, it's not for the same reason, though, because he cares about her as a person, and Papa Ikari cares about her as a tool. So, it's for very different reasons, but they lead to the same place. And this comes back to the discussion that I had early on in this series about means and ends. That his father could potentially take the same actions for different reasons and cause less harm by doing so. That's sort of what Shinji is doing here. He is taking the same actions to save Rei for entirely different reasons from his father's. It's not to use her as a tool or because she's valuable to Nerve, but because he cares about her now. Despite their distance, despite everything. And then he says, don't say goodbye. Don't say you have nothing else. And she says she doesn't know what to do in a situation like this, and he says, you can just smile. Now, there was something interesting about that. Really interesting. Really, really, really interesting. Because I was thinking about it in the last episode with the scene where he comes in and sees her nude. And I was thinking, wow, it is so clear to me after this that Shirogane, if any of you have watched my Karakuri Circus reactions or watched Karakuri Circus in general, Shirogane, as a character, is heavily based on Rei. Heavily draws inspiration from Rei. Silver short hair, better at doing the thing than the characters who are otherwise trying to do the thing. Dispassionate, trained from a young age to do this. Very little emotion. Doesn't smile or laugh often, or at all. And there is a scene where Narumi Kota walks in on Shirogane in the nude, and he freaks out. He freaks out and he like scuffles back on all fours, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm so sorry." Blah, 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 blah. And she doesn't care. She just like her eyes narrow a little bit. That's the only reaction that comes out of her. The only thing. And so that scene made me this scene with the whole nudity thing and Rei not caring really made me think of that. And it made me realize that Shirogane is, as a character, is heavily inspired by this. And then this scene with the smile. So, same character, Narumi Kota, is he's got this weird condition where every once in a while, when people around him are feeling bad, he freaks out. Like his body freaks out of his control, and he starts to choke. Like genuinely starts to choke. So he has to make somebody laugh, and it has to be him making somebody laugh in order to stop choking. So it's this like interesting character quirk of his. And it starts to happen when he is alone with Shirogane. And her character is such that she does not laugh. She doesn't know how to. Just because of reasons. And so he tries to make her laugh and can't. And then he says something sweet because as a joke, he says, "You're going to be my girl." And she doesn't laugh, but she smiles, and it's enough. And it is heavily inspired by this scene with Rei. Now, maybe I'm just grasping at straws, and it's convergent evolution, right? Or convergent creation, two artists reaching the same conclusions without ever influencing each other. I doubt it. I am so certain that Shirogane's character is heavily based on Rei. I'm so certain of it now. And it's cool. It's cool to see see the influence of Evangelion in retrospect, you know? Because it gives more meaning to me, it gives more meaning to the scenes from Karakuri Circus because I have this feeling that they were inspired by this and based on it. That's cool. It's interesting. It's interesting to see that the DNA of Evangelion lives on in modified forms through more modern works. It's just cool. I don't think I have anything else to talk about here. This was a really interesting 2-episode pair focused on Rei and within it, you know, I've heard people talk about this as like, oh, Shinji never grows. He's just a stupid idiot character who never gains anything and never grows. We saw some serious development for Shinji in this episode. Just that action of going in after Rei is huge for him. Huge development for him. Yeah, this was a great pair of episodes, and I'm pumped. Ava's cool. It's a cool show. This is like it's a good show or something. Who would have guessed that the anime generally considered the greatest piece of anime of all time is a good show? Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, I've been Teeaboo. I hope you've enjoyed this special 2-part episode of Evangelion as much as I have, and as always, I hope to catch you in the next one, which will be up on Patreon. So, if you want it, patreon.com/Teeaboo. It's a thing. Alright, signing off. Peace.